Have you ever noticed that some decisions become harder the longer you think about them? You start with a simple question. Should I take this opportunity? Should I make this change? Do I take this road or another? At first, it feels manageable. Then you think a little more, you gather information. Compare possibilities. Imagine outcomes. And somehow, the answer feels further away than when you started. What makes this strange is that thinking is supposed to create clarity. That's what we've always been told. More analysis. More information. More consideration. Better decisions. But your brain does something quietly during this process, something most people never notice. And once it starts, more thinking can begin producing the exact opposite of what you're looking for. Not clarity. Complexity. The strange part is that your brain isn't malfunctioning when this happens. In many ways, it's working exactly as designed. Just not in the environment it was designed for. For most of human history, decisions were relatively bounded. A path through a forest. A source of food. A place to sleep. A potential threat. The available information was limited. The number of possibilities was limited. The future remained uncertain, but uncertainty had edges. At some point, there was simply nothing left to analyze. The decision had to be made. Thinking eventually reached a natural stopping point. Modern decisions are different. They rarely have clear boundaries. Choosing a career. Changing jobs. Moving to a new city. Starting a project. Ending a relationship. Even deciding what to buy can generate an almost endless stream of additional information. Every answer creates another question. Every possibility reveals another possibility. And your brain responds in a very predictable way. It keeps exploring. Because exploration is usually useful. The more uncertain a situation feels, the more your brain attempts to reduce that uncertainty. It searches for missing information, looks for patterns, simulates future outcomes, runs mental experiments. What if this happens? What if there's a better option? What if I'm overlooking something important? This process often feels productive, it feels like progress. But there's a hidden transition that occurs before most people recognize it. At first, additional information reduces uncertainty. Then eventually, additional information begins creating new uncertainty. The relationship reverses. And this is where things become interesting. Most people assume uncertainty comes from not knowing enough. Sometimes that's true. But beyond a certain point, uncertainty can emerge because you know too much. Not too much reality, too many possibilities. Your brain doesn't merely store information. It generates consequences from information. Every new piece of knowledge creates additional branches, additional outcomes, additional scenarios to consider. A decision that originally had 2 possible futures can suddenly appear to have 20. Then 50. Then hundreds. Nothing became objectively more complicated. Your model of the future became more complicated. And your brain must now navigate all of it. This creates a counterintuitive effect. Thinking can increase the number of unresolved questions faster than it produces answers. The more mental branches appear, the harder it becomes to identify which ones actually matter. Imagine standing at a crossroads with 2 visible paths. The choice is difficult. Now imagine discovering that there aren't 2 paths. There are 20. Then 50. Then 100. You haven't become more informed in a practical sense. You've become surrounded by possibilities, and possibilities have weight. Not physical weight. Cognitive weight. Each possibility requires attention, evaluation, prediction, comparison. Your brain pays a small cost for every future it tries to simulate. Most of the time, you never notice these costs individually. You only notice the accumulated effect. Mental fatigue. Indecision. A strange feeling that clarity is slipping away, even though you've spent hours trying to create it. This is one reason intelligent people often experience decision paralysis. Not because they're incapable of thinking clearly, because they're exceptionally capable of generating possibilities. The same cognitive abilities that help them understand complexity can also trap them inside it. A mind that sees more variables must process more variables. A mind that detects more potential outcomes must evaluate more potential outcomes. And eventually, the system becomes crowded. Not with answers, with simulations. This leads to another misconception. People often believe that clarity comes from finding the perfect answer. But clarity rarely emerges from perfection. Clarity emerges from constraint. Your brain functions best when possibilities begin narrowing, when certain paths are eliminated, when uncertainty becomes manageable rather than infinite. In fact, many moments of clarity occur not when new information arrives, but when the search finally stops. Because attention can only stabilize when exploration slows down. And yet modern life encourages the opposite. More research, more comparison, more options, more perspectives, more inputs. The assumption is always the same. If clarity hasn't arrived yet, perhaps you simply need more information. But your brain has no built-in mechanism for determining when enough information has become enough. It evolved to keep searching when uncertainty remains. And in a world where information never ends, uncertainty never fully disappears. So the search continues, quietly, automatically, often beneath awareness. Not because your brain is broken, not because you're overthinking, but because every additional possibility gives your mind one more future to explore. And somewhere along the way, without noticing it happen, the search for clarity slowly becomes the thing preventing it. And the next time you find yourself thinking harder and harder about a decision, it may be worth wondering whether your brain is still searching for an answer, or simply generating new places to look. If you enjoy science that's fast, visual, and straight to the point, subscribe. BioSnap, science that clicks is just getting started.